This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Sprinter wide body, fifth wheel, and the model number is 3590 LFT. So this is not a floor plan video, it's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So, here we are at the door side rear, and you can see that it has a auto leveling system. There are your rear jacks here, one on each side, then you got your landing gear up front. I'll show you the controller for it when we get around to the other side. You have a power awning with LEDs. Of course, there's outside speakers, and you have a power and an TV signal out here, so you could put a TV out here if you chose to. As I look in the basement here, excuse me, your cranks are hanging there, and then you got a dump hose, and then that's the blue coil there is a quick connect water hose, so a sprayer, so that fits in the water ports. And your tanks are 2 30-pounders, one on each side. Okay. Come around to the front, and we'll open it up and see what we got here. Ouch. Whack my head. Okay. So, bear with me a second. I'm trying to do this with one hand. And I'm not having a lot of luck. There we go. Okay, there we go. So you can see you have your battery box here. It'll hold 2 batteries. I believe there's 1 in here. But you can always double the storage. This is your kill switch here for the battery. This is pre-wire for a tire monitor. So that's a cover that pops off, and if you purchase the tire monitor, it just plugs right in there. This is the kill switch for your solar panel, and this is the solar controller. Now, to use this solar controller, there's no panel inside, so you have to download the app and use your phone. So you go to Apple or Google, wherever you go, and get the Victron Energy app. Then you'll load it, obviously, then you'll boot it up, and it'll scan and find your controller, and you'll select it. Then it's going to ask you to log on. It'll tell you something like you could try 6 zeros, but that's not going to work. What you have to do to find your PIN number is you come around to the side here with your camera and take a picture of that tag. It'll be a 6-digit number there, and you log on with that, and you'll be able to see everything that your solar controller sees at that point. It'll tell you, how many amps you're gaining from the sun, the voltage, the DC voltage in the system, all that stuff and more. They usually need to be updated. The software, or sometimes even the firmware, needs to be updated. So you look in the upper right hand corner after you log on, and there'll be I think it's a red dot, and you'll click on it, and it'll give you the option to update it. Always update it to keep it current, okay? But that's what you'll use your phone through this app to see what's happening with your solar system, okay? Okay. That's just a pre-wire there, a hookup for a portable solar panel that would charge your battery. It's just a kit. It's made by Go Power. That's what that is. If you were to purchase it, it would plug right in there. Okay, so he has this. Darn it, and I don't have a key on me either. Okay, we're going to have to come back to that. I'll talk to you a bit about it with it closed. This is how you operate your stabilizer. Basically, the 2 most common commands are going to be auto level, right, and auto hitch height. So after you get to the campground, you unhook your tow vehicle, pull it away, you're going to push auto level. when you push auto level, it'll level the trailer, but it'll remember the last position it was in before you auto leveled. That's considered auto hitch height. So when you're getting ready to leave, the only thing you have to push is auto hitch height, and it'll return it to that same position, so you should be able to slide your vehicle right underneath and hook right up. There are other functions, you know, retract all. For example, it'll nosedive the trailer. It won't hurt anything, but you got to make sure nothing's underneath it. You can operate some of the jacks independently, but auto level and auto hitch hike are the most common. I'll come back out here when I get the keys and we'll look at it, okay? And these are the directions for it right here, just so you know. Just sort of a... Oh boy. Alright, that's just the other side of your pass-through. And, of course, this is locked in. Well, I'm not making any progress here. Let me get some keys. You got keys on you? No? Here, let me just borrow for a minute, okay? Okay, see if these keys work here. If you get lucky. Yep, that one did. And try it. That one also. There you go. Thank you. Okay, so this is what I was telling you about here. So you light it up here, you turn it on. It says ready. 14 volts in the 14.3 volts in the system, DC, which is great, and it's ready to be operated. It likes to have the battery totally charged, so keep that in mind. But you're just going to push auto level, and it's going to level it. When you're getting ready to leave, you're going to push enter down here. Well, I guess I can't till I run it, so darn it, that messes me up here. But so I'll talk you through it. You're going to push enter, and then you're going to be able. Oh, we just got it there. And then you go to auto hitch height is unavailable right now because I haven't auto leveled, but it will say auto hitch height. So, and then you'll press enter to operate it. So, auto level is here, and auto hitch height is you push this down once and it's right there. So, keep that in mind. It's that simple. You can learn more about it. You can operate the jacks independently. You can do more things, but auto hitch height, and auto level are the two most common commands to use. Okay. All right. This is your docking area here, and is there a light? Yes. Let me find it. Okay. So you have 3 valves, and then you have the 5 drawings, the 5 diagrams with the valves. The one in the center that says city water is the most common one. You're just going to hook your city water to here, turn it on, put the valves in this position, and all the plumbing will work. If you're camping someplace where you don't have city water, you can put the valves in this position where it says power fill tank, and this will fill the tank, and you'll take the water with you. And when you get to the campground, you'll put it into dry camping mode, and you'll turn the water pump on, which I'll show you when we get inside, and it'll pump the water out of the tank, and all the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping from the tank. So you have that option. Of course, this is to sanitize it here, but right now we're in winterized mode because you can see the valves match up there. We're in winterized because there's antifreeze in the system. It's winter time, so it's very simple. This is your black tank flush right here. You're just gonna put the hose at the dump station on there, dump your black tank, right? Leave the black tank valve open like it says here. It's important to leave the valve open. Turn on the water and then just flush out your black tank. It'll clean off your sensors, that sort of thing, and you're all set. Never turn on the water to this with the black tank valve closed. You always want it to be open. You don't want too much pressure to build up. This is satellite and cable into the system from the campground. These are low point drains here, and this is the hookup for your coiled sprayer that I showed you. That's just stores there. It's that simple. This has on-demand hot water. Right now there's antifreeze in the system, so it's shut off. You can see the master switch right there. Keep in mind that this is here. But I'll be able to talk you through it when we get to the control inside. But you have on-demand water, Remember, this switch is here. And remember, this is the pressure release valve. So don't ever, when this is hot, do not make sure no one ever pulls that valve, because it'll squirt scalding water everywhere. So keep that in mind. That's a safety device. Okay. You have a 50 amp system, so you got a 50 amp power cord, plus you get this 30 amp reducer with it. Okay. It plugs in right here. You're pre-wired for a backup camera, and you got a pre-mount for a Lippert telescoping ladder, which is a good thing to have, considering the manufacturer states that you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So you want to do that. By inspecting it, you're going to just look to make sure there's no damage to the roof or the roofing materials that could be caused by, you know, low branches or road debris flying up there. You'll look at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get through, that sort of thing. Odds are you won't have to do anything for years, but you don't know that for a fact unless you look. So it's important to inspect your roof every 90 days. Okay? All right. Let's go inside where it's warm. Okay, much better. Okay, so let's go up here to the panel to start off with. Got nice big windows, which is great. Okay, so thermostat, right now we're on heat. It's very simple. You're just going to push the controller here till mode flashes. What it's doing, heat's flashing. Then you rotate it, cool, which is air conditioning, off, cool, heat. We're going to stay with heat. And then if you're happy with 68 degrees, which we are, just push it again and it's set. Okay. This is a controller for a ceiling vent, basically a power vent, which will be here, I believe. Let me take a quick look. Like somebody turned the TV on for some reason. Find a remote here and shut it off. I can find it right now. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. They would come through and do that, I don't know, but okay. That controller we were just looking at is for this power vent up here. It controls the lid on it and the speed of the fan, all that sort of thing, right from the controller, so you don't have to get a ladder or something to get up there. Okay. And then your control panel. Slide rooms, in and out, awning. Never leave the awning out unattended if you're not going to be using it. Roll it in, because it can get damaged by the weather very quickly. You have some lights here. Okay. Your water pump is right here. We talked about using the water pump on the if you don't have city water and you need to pump out of the tank, this would be on for that. That's also used to winterize the trailer. Okay. And then you have all your different levels. Now all these don't apply to you. There's not two bathrooms in here, so you don't, black tank 2 you don't worry about, for example. But you just push the buttons and it'll tell you the levels right here, okay? Very simple. Okay. This is your LP carbon monoxide detector right here. It should always be green. If it's not glowing green, get it serviced. It's very important, obviously. This one's a GFCI. There's a few of them in the trailer. Even if the plugs like this one don't look like a GFCI and they're not in fact a GFCI, they're still wired through them. So all the plugs, all the receptacles, even the ones on the outside, are wired through a GFCI. So if you lose power in one of them, you have to think about checking your GFCIs, okay? I'm preoccupied with that TV, so I gotta do something here. I don't know where he's got the remote's at. Probably here, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now I feel better. Well, I guess not. It came back on. How can that be? Okay. Okay, your fireplace has a remote also, and it's a space heater, so it's really kicking out the heat right now, but you can change the temperature, you can change the color of the crystals and the flames. It has a timer on it. It's a really good space heater, so you have that. Your couch is also a hide-a-bed, so you pull the cushions right off. You can fold it out, drop the legs, and you got a nice bed. Of course, you have 2 recliner / theater seats. All right. Your keys, just so you know, are hanging right here on the faucet. Your microwave works like any microwave would. It also has a fan and light on it. When it comes to your range, this is the sparker right here to light it, and then you have 3 burners and the oven right here. So it's very simple. That's all you're going to do. The oven, you can read up on it, but it's got a pilot light at the bottom, right back there. So you're going to light it, and when you shut the oven off, the pilot light goes off, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? Always travel with this in the closed position, but let the burners cool down first, of course. Your refrigerator has this travel lock, which is on right now, so always travel with this engaged because you don't want the doors to get damaged. You know, driving down the road and they hitting the right kind of bump and they'll come flying open, so keep that in mind. Your middle room here, this turns into a bed. This couch, just like the other one, it folds out, so you have that. And you have TV hookups here and here, so you can hang a TV. This is the power converter right here. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged into shore power, basically you're going to have 120 AC at these circuit breakers here, and you can see they're all labeled. Then it converts the power from AC to DC, and you have these 12-volt DC fuses here, and they're all labeled, so that's how you get the DC power. And it's also a battery tender. It'll send some of this energy your battery or batteries in the front compartment have, and it'll keep them charged as long as you're plugged in. So it's a distribution center for AC, distribution center for DC power. It's an AC to DC converter and a battery charger all rolled into one. That's called a power converter. So you have that. And let's move on a little bit. So you have another GFCI here. The toilet works like all RV toilets in the sense that it has a flush pill. It sits right over a black tank. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You're going to throw a dose of chemical in the bowl, push down the pedal, and put at least a gallon of water in there. Preferably use a couple gallons, and you're all set. Till you dump the tank next time. So never run it without water or chemical in it. That's important. Now I'll have to talk you through this because we have it shut off because there's antifreeze in the system. This is the controller for the on-demand water. So basically this is an on and off. This one converts back and forth Fahrenheit to Celsius, okay? And this sets your temperature. Usually it's set at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Some people run it at 115, whatever. We'll just go with 120. So when you turn it on, it'll show 120, telling you that's what it's set at, and it'll just sit there. But once you turn on a hot faucet, any hot faucet, inside or outside, a flame will appear on this little LED here, and it'll show itself lighting. A wheel will be spinning, and then the numbers will start rising quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 120. And then you got on-demand water. It just keeps giving you 120 degree Fahrenheit water, or whatever you have it set at. Okay, very simple. Now it also has a safety built in, so keeping that in mind, that if you're not hooked up to city water and the city water is not turned on, it will not light the gas burner. There's a safety in there, right? It's protected itself. The only other option is you would have to have water in the fresh water tank with your water pump turned on. Then it will light. So one of those two conditions have to be present for the burner to light, okay? So we have that. And just the usual bathroom stuff. Another thermostat, another air conditioner. So this is pre-plumbed and wired for a washer dryer. You can use a combo or a stackable. So you can do either or. So if you want to add that, so it's ready to go. Okay. Okay. And then these, you basically just have some wardrobe here, and it's also a little desk there also. So, okay. A little bit of storage under here. Okay. The rest is just typical self-explanatory stuff. You have an emergency window there. Another place to hang a TV. There's a backer plate there, so you have that. Okay. I think that covers it. Let me look around a little bit. Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember the manufacturer states that every 90 days you should inspect the roof. And keep in mind right now this is a winterized trailer, so the water's been purged from the system and it's filled with antifreeze, so you're good for the rest of the winter. Other than that, you're all set. So we can answer any other questions when you come to pick up, and we'll walk you through and talk you through anything you need, okay? Thank you very much.